Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys can see me. I've got a sun glare going on, but what I wanted to share with you guys is to look at my sister Beverly Woodard's posting live video today. It is awesome. My days are normally Tuesday and Thursday. And so tomorrow I'll be sharing with you live. But I'm coming on to let you guys know that she is sharing an awesome word. Of course, she teaches from the same devotional that I teach, so it was really exciting to be watching her. And she's teaching the lesson that I had already read, that I read my devotional throughout the day. I just read it continues because I always get a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more each time I read it. But I want you guys to watch her video. I've shared it. I'm going to share it again. It is good, especially towards the end. Get towards the end when she starts talking about the virus and how food can be healing. It can protect us. It can give us everything that we need to fight off this virus naturally. I know the vaccine is coming out and everybody's all excited about it. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. I'm not excited about it. I'm waiting for everybody else to take it. I'm not even good with taking my pneumonia and flu shots every year, because one, I trust God. And now I've learned even more that if I just give my body what it's supposed to have, it heals itself and it protects me from diseases. God has created us and created our bodies to be able to heal itself when we do what we know is right. And it's difficult in our society, you guys. It is difficult. Especially, I love to travel. I love to do road trips. And when you're on the road, your carrots and celery will only last for so long. And you get hungry, and everywhere you go, the food is not what your body needs. And so, but I've learned I don't punish myself over what I can't do because I have to have something. But the practice now for me is to put good stuff in my body. And I have learned, you guys, that when you put the good stuff in you, God protects your body. And so my sister, she really shares because she's been through it. She does all the studies. She's the one that encouraged me, her and my son. They're the ones that really encouraged me to change the way I eat. And so now I don't diet. I just make sure that I'm getting more good stuff in my body than the other stuff. My husband is struggling. He's been very supportive. He had a good 3 months of bachelorhood. That I came home and I could tell that man had eaten everything that I keep saying, honey, don't mom, we're not going to eat that. We're going to eat this. He had pizza. He had burgers. He had Mexican food. I'm telling you, I could tell by the bank account where he went to eat Chinese. I mean, he had himself a ball. And so when I came home, of course, the house was not stocked. And with the food that I had become accustomed to eating. And so, of course, I'm eating. I'm like, well, get me something, honey. I'm hungry. I say, well, get me something. He bring back a Whataburger. He knows Whataburger was my weakness. And so after about 3 days of eating like that, I said, my body is just not feeling good, honey. I felt bloated. I felt my stomach felt tight. My bowels were not flowing like I'm used to them flowing. It was just a little more agitating to have a bowel movement. I said, And so I told him, I said, we're going to have to get back on my diet now. But if you want that junk, then you go buy and eat it. And he's been doing that. He does it. But praise God, he's coming around because he actually now is really, really paying attention that I feel better. I'm moving better. I have more energy now. Um, he could tell with the weight loss, you know. So, and to let you all know, it's been, I think I've been about 23, between 23 and 26 pounds I've lost over the past 3 months. Um, some of you may know I did some walking, and I did a lot of walking, which made me feel better. Um, but when I couldn't walk after the weather changed on me, and I couldn't walk, and then my job changed on me. Instead of working just part time, I was working full time, and so I didn't have that freedom to walk because by the time I got off of work, it was dark, and my mama wasn't having it with me going outside and walking. But but I kept myself busy in the house. Um, but 23 pounds, 3 months. And I wasn't starving. I was eating as much as I want. I ate when I want. Um, and even when I would go out, Mom said, every time you come back, you had a bag. I said, well, I learned where to go to get what I needed if I was hungry without jeopardizing what I've what I've started with my eating habits. Um, I had start going to Burger King because they had the Impossible Burger, and I went to other restaurants that had nice salads. Wendy's had a nice salad, and you have to really fight the temptation to uh, to get the burgers and all that. And every now and then, because Mom wanted her fried chicken, I would get that, and there's no guilt attached to it because the majority of what I was doing was giving myself what it needed. And I had to treat my body like we do our children. You know how we do our children? We give them what they need more than we give them what they want. And so that's how I had to do my body. And of course, you have those moments where you can celebrate and everything. Um, but you all, I'm going to repost Beverly's video or her posting that she did today so that you can listen to it. Not only is the word good, and I was so enjoying that word, but if you just stick with it and go towards the end when she starts to talk about nutrition, she starts to talk about this COVID thing, how her family overcame. When I spoke with my doctor and told him what I went through earlier this year, back in January, um, Dad had come home, and he was actually, what we're believing is that he actually had caught COVID while in the hospital. That's before all the masking. That's before all what was going on took place. He just, in the hospital, he was sick. He had this constant runny nose, this constant cough. His temperature would go up and down. And of course, when he came home, we started really trying to take care of him. We were giving him all kinds of medicines to help this, what we thought was a sinus thing. Um, Nothing helped. And of course, his temperature started going up. And it was just getting worse. Even Mom had started coughing. We all started coughing. It was just this thing. We all were coughing. And I just assumed, you hear somebody cough, you cough too. And he just kept getting worse. And so finally, when his therapist came and looked at him and checked him out, he says, your dad needs to go to Dobbin Hospital. And Dad had just gotten home, didn't want to go back. We had just started his rehabilitation and home therapy, and he was fighting it all the way. And then he checked Dad's temperature. His temperature was going up, and Dad was still fighting. And you don't want to go against your parents, And I'm looking, and of course, the roles have sort of had reversed with Mom and Dad, and we had to take on a more parental role with our parents. And even though they're grown and in their good minds, we had to fight and say, okay, I got to do what's best for you. And letting his therapist out, he says, you really need to take him to the ER today. And I said, seriously? He said, yeah. I said, okay. So I went and told Dad, I said, Dad, I got to take you to the hospital. He was like, I don't want to go. Hospital. Every time something go wrong, he was just fussing. And I had to take on that authoritative role and say, listen, you are not going to die on my watch. You are sick. And whatever's going on with you is not getting better. You're going to the hospital, Dad. And I just went on and called the EMTs and told them to come pick him up, took him in, and Dad had the strand of pneumonia. I think his lungs was like um, half fluid. He had half, filled halfway with fluid. Um, Immediately, they start working on him. After a while, asking the doctors, and they had no clue what kind of pneumonia he had, because that's how they were treating him for pneumonia. And so, of course, not knowing what was on out there, we just had no idea, what what the COVID and all what was happening. And of course, we're in and out the hospital. And the way he and Mom slept, it was endearing to watch. But now I understand that the way they slept, because they slept facing each other. So he's breathing in her face, she's breathing his face, and of course, guess what? Mom comes down with it. But I recognize the symptoms, and so I didn't wait as we did with Dad, and sent her on, and comes out she had the same strand. Um, Brought Mom home, and guess what? I got sick. And so, you guys, if what people are suffering, if what I had back in January is anything like what people are going through, this thing is serious, because it makes you so sick. And I'm serious, you guys. Hi, Dorothy, I see you. I see you. You guys, it makes you so sick, you almost want to die. Those of us who know that we know that we know that we are the children of the Most High God, we are saved, we are filled with His Spirit. When you know that you know that you know that, death is not a scary thing. And literally, if it was not for taking care of my parents, I would have told God, let's just go. I did it before. I've told God that before, so I don't know if He pays any attention to me. But you guys, this thing is real. It's not to be played with. Um, it happens to the best of Christians, the most faithful of His following, and you just don't want to walk in disobedience. And one way you can fight this COVID virus is change the way you eat. Seriously, change the way you eat. I'm not saying you can never have another steak. You can't have another hamburger. I'm not saying you can never have another piece of fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy. I love all of that. Right now I'm weaning my husband, so we're making, if he's a good boy all week, the weekend I'll fix him, like this weekend, some baked chicken and potatoes and sweet potatoes and some greens. I'll cook it, and I'll try to cook it in a way that it's still healthy for us, but still delicious. Um, but change the way we eat. A lot of people thought I want to lose a lot of weight to try to be this model. I've never been little, except when I was really little. So that's not the goal. And thank God I got a husband who loves curvy. He probably would kill me if he knew I said that. So don't y'all tell him. But he likes curvy. So I don't have that push to be this skinny thing. My goal is to be healthy. And that's what I want. And so when I'm going to share. Hi, Mary Jane. I was just looking at your postings today. I love you, sweetheart. It was so good to see you this weekend. I tell you, it made me feel better. But I'm just gonna repost it, you guys. Please watch the posting. Not only is the word good, and Beverly, my sister, is an awesome teacher of the word. Really, she's a preacher. I think Dad didn't have any sons uh, to inherit the preaching, uh, but he has some preaching daughters. And so Beverly is one of them. Very anointed, very encouraging. She's funny, but she's serious at the same time. And so you're going to enjoy her posting. Um, so please watch it. Please listen to what she's going to share when it comes to this COVID virus. Um, the new vaccine that they're promoting and nutrition, okay? I think it's going to bless you. I love you guys. I just want to get on and share. This is not my day, not my normal day to share. I will talk to you, God willing. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And look for me close to the noon hour tomorrow. All right. I love you guys. It's so good to be able to talk to you all freely like this again. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Please do. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mwah. Love you. Bye bye.